Welcome to Conversations with Toy, a blogcast tackling life one episode at a time. This is the time to air out life's craziest moments. This space is all about speaking about life's hang-ups and ways in which we can leave better than when we started. Topics are all about ways we can find space to be better in life, love, mental space, and health.
On this week's episode, we're going to do things a little differently. Normally, I talk on the podcast first and then we bring in our interview, but this week we're going to flip it. So on this particular episode, we have 3 people that are going to be on the episode. 3, not 1, not 2, but 3. The first is John Kirby Jr. He is the Multidiscipline Partnership Development for the United Negro College Fund. Now you will hear us or I say UNCF interchangeably for the United Negro College Fund. We will talk and discover what exactly is the United Negro College Fund and how can you participate if you live here in the city of Philadelphia and or want to give to help a student in this area and surrounding areas to go to college and make the dream a reality. Now, in addition to John, we also have Richard Lee Snow. Richard is the Regional Development Director for, again, the United Negro College Fund, or UNCF. We are going to talk, what is the United Negro College Fund? When was it founded? What is the purpose? And how, again, I can't stress this enough, how you can also give towards building and changing lives for the students that, again, are talented. But again, we need support. We need dollars to help them to go to college, whether it be an HBCU, which is a historically Black college or university, or a traditional school as well. And lastly, we have Leslie Patterson-Tyler, who is the Vice President of Program Communications and Partnership at the Kimmel Center. Now, the Kimmel Cultural Campus is partnering with the United Negro College Fund, and how the two partnerships come together, we will speak with all 3 to discover how this all went down, what is the partnership, and how, again, you can be a part of helping a student, a young adult get to college, stay in college, and have the funding to support each other or support themselves while they're in college. This is a great episode, in my opinion, to listen to, again, to see how you can give back. And we all know the United Negro College Fund has been in existence for a very long time. It's one of the most trustworthy organizations that, again, is going to support children to be able to diversify their lives and really go into college, go into the field of choice with the financial backing, because as much as we want to support them in prayers and support them in just showing up for a student, we want to also find a way to support them in dollars. All right. Thank you, Conversations with Toy family. We have a treat from the UNCF, which is the United Negro College Fund. We have John Kirby and Richard Lee Snow. We are going to talk about what they are doing and how we can support them. Yes, we too can support. I know that if you have a child that is interested in going to a predominantly Black school, it's really important that we get out the information about, again, the funding that is needed to support those types, not even those types of schools, but schools in general. But when it comes to Black and predominantly Black schools, we want to make sure that we do our best to do what we can. And there is a way that you can see a show as well as support. And so we have John and Richard here. John and Richard, thank you for being a part of this conversation.
Thank you for having us.
So
if we can start with you.
We can start with what?
Introductions, is that fine?
Sure, you can. Go right on ahead.
Yeah, I just, again, I'm Richard Lee Snow. I'm the Regional Development Director for UNCF, which means that I manage all of the marketing and development activities in the states of Virginia, Maryland, Delaware, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, and also South Jersey and DC. Within that footprint, I have 3 offices. one in Richmond, Virginia, one in DC, and the one here in Philadelphia that John manages. So I'll turn it over to him.
Thank you, Richard.
Thanks, Richard. Again, I'm John Kirby. I am the Area Development Director in Philadelphia. I cover a large swath of that area that Richard oversees. So I'm covering Pennsylvania, Southern New Jersey, Delaware, and West Virginia. As Richard's role is regional, mine is that area that I just designated there. I'm handling the marketing, the outreach, the communications, and more importantly, the fundraising to make sure that we're getting in what we need to get in to support students and to support schools in our network.
I love that. Can you talk about, and either one of you can step in, about what is the United Negro College Fund? Because I feel like a lot of people are not fully aware of what you do, what you represent, and what you're trying to accomplish.
Well, yes, and thank you once again, Toy. The UNCF was founded in 1944 by Frederick D. Patterson as an organization to assist HBCUs, historically Black colleges and universities that were private. Private institutions were not getting the same type of state and, in many cases, local funding as the public institutions were. So he started this organization to help raise funds specifically for that. And even until today, by charter, we provide operational support to 37 member schools which are private in nature. And so as we matured, we also began to provide scholarships. And that's probably what we're best known for today. We are the largest provider of scholarships to students in need across the country. And we're so proud to help young folks reach their educational aspirations.
And I love that, because when I was in my college process, again, I'll say I was very ignorant to the fact of, what it meant to go to a historically Black college. And at the time when I was being recruited, I really didn't see funding personally for me that I felt like would be substantial enough for me to be able to continue the efforts of going out of state to go to, at the time, a historically Black college. And so that struggle is real for so many parents. Do you want to talk about just how you're making that realization a little bit more closer so parents and kids, or, young people, can have that opportunity that I, of course, didn't know much about?
Sure, and I can pick up there. Thanks again, Toy, for that, and Richard for giving that background. I think we're making that possible through various ways. One, we do have some high school programs scattered throughout the country that are supporting families and supporting high schoolers as they prepare for their ongoing college careers. We're also, as we are known for, providing those scholarships. And one detail about that, I think, when people think scholarships, a lot of times they may think that there's one scholarship that's available. UNCF, in a way, is kind of like a clearinghouse where there are a number of scholarships that are available, and we're working with partners, and UNCF has its own scholarships that you can find all of those on our website. People can generally apply for more than one of the scholarships that we have available there, as long as they meet that criteria. Some of them are need-based, some of them are merit-based. But we're always looking to find ways to make sure that families are able to apply for those scholarships and get those dollars in, because we understand how necessary it is for people to be successful in college. Sometimes the reason why people aren't able to complete their college careers is not because they can't cut it, academically, but because they just don't have the financial resources to pull them through. And so we want to make sure and hopefully eliminate that as a factor for reducing college graduation rates by making sure that people have the funds to move through.
Yes, because that was definitely my issue. I ended up going to a school that wasn't a historically Black college because, again, I just couldn't physically see how I was going to be able to support that. And at the time, I was the only one out of my family that had went to college. I was the first generation to go to college. And so, I didn't have that support in my high school at all. So it just was like, I knew where I could get regular scholarships. I didn't see where I could fund it to go to a historically Black college. And so I didn't really fully pursue it.
Yeah. And I do want to say that our goal is always to help support our HBCUs who are in our network, and honestly, all HBCUs, to make sure that people understand that is a not just one choice, but sometimes the best choice for them in their college careers and eventually their career post-college. But we also do provide scholarships to individuals who may not choose to go to an HBCU for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
So people can go to many accredited universities and still be able to receive some of those UNCF scholarships. Some are specifically for those who are attending HBCUs, but we do have scholarships where that is not a necessity.
I love that. And so then the Kimmel Center, how did you guys partner with the Kimmel Center in order to make another option for giving back, or having an option to give towards the United Negro College Fund?
Like many things, Toy, it's all about relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And so I happen to have a relationship with one of the directors at the Kimmel Center, and she supported UNCF in many ways, even outside of the Kimmel Center, as well as other initiatives across the city that we both happen to be a part of. And she reached out to me with this great idea. What if we could do an event at the Kimmel Center that kind of touches on HBCUs, et cetera, and have the proceeds go to UNCF? That was just a smile on my face automatically and quickly. And so we started chatting about it. Mm-hmm. And on next Friday, February the 17th, we will be a part of Drumline Live, which will be hosted by the Kimmel Center. And, this is something that touches many people who've gone to HBCU, but just many people who love marching bands, et cetera, to come out and see this. It's going to be a great evening. And at the end of the day, people who purchase tickets will be helping young students within this Philadelphia area seek college opportunities. And we're so grateful for that.
And one thing I want to say is that when I actually saw the movie Drumline, I was in my current college at the time, and it sparked such great, like I felt bad, like I really should have changed schools at the time. I was like, this movie just shown so much of the, going to that, it was fictional, but still yet showing going to a historical Black college, all of the marching band, the energy that I would expect to be there. And I absolutely loved it. So that's why I'm grateful that the Kimmel Center is bringing Drumline to the stage, because a lot of people who have not had that opportunity will definitely get the opportunity to feel the same things I feel just from seeing the movie.
Yeah, and you mentioned earlier, Toy, that you were the first in your family to attend college. That is a fact for more than half of our students. Most of them are first generation, but not only that, nearly 60% of them come from families whose household income is less than $35,000 a year. So most of them are Pell Grant eligible. Mm-hmm. And what we found during the pandemic that hopefully we are navigating ourselves out of is that our students were affected the most. Many of them didn't even have funds to go back home from school. They had to find housing near their campuses, which they didn't have funding for. And even post-pandemic, we're finding that almost half of the students weren't able to continue their education because they didn't have the funding to do so. So I say all of that to say that we need supporters now more than ever to help these students enjoy educations will allow them to have a meaningful life.
And I know that's true because I know there were several students that I had come in contact with who were doing the same thing you said. They're staying at home, or they're trying to figure out how many classes they can get at their community, college. And not that anything is wrong with the community college, because it's not, but they were doing that as a means because they didn't have the funding supporting them to do other things. They wanted to go back to their schools. They wanted to get books for things that they needed. They wanted the supplies, or just like you said, housing. But if it's not there, they don't know what else to do. And that's a real reality.
Yeah, I think one of the major things that we want to provide is opportunity and choice and options for students as they're moving through their college and eventual careers. And so if they would like to choose to attend a community college first, there could be a lot of value there. for that, and many pathways that they can launch from that point. But for those who do want to go straight to a four-year institution, we also want to make sure they have that option available to them. And as best we can, be one of the players that helps take the financial constraints out of play for them, so that they have more opportunity in front of them.
So if you're listening and you're in the Philadelphia area and you're saying to yourself, my gosh, I would love to be a supporter of that. One, you can donate always. And then the second way is you can go and attend this amazing show. If you've never seen Drumline and you want to see basically I feel like the most livest, energetic show you could see that Kimmel has to offer. I mean, they have great shows all together, but this particular show I know is going to be off the chain. It's going to be amazing. And you can support it by buying a ticket and attending the show.
Yeah, and for those, Toy, who want to just make general donations beyond the show, you can do so at uncf.org/Philadelphia. That's uncf.org/Philadelphia. And your support will help us. Just last year alone, we gave over 200 scholarships to students who either live or attend school in the Philadelphia area, exceeding about $2.1 million. So we are touching students right here in the area. And as John alluded to, not only do they go to Lincoln and Cheney, our two HBCUs, which, if I could throw in a commercial, are the two oldest HBCUs in this country, but they go to all of the predominantly white institutions too. They go to Temple, and they go to Penn and Penn State, etc. So we're trying to make a difference for students, and your listeners can help us do that by making a donation. And understand that any amount helps us remind the world what we've been saying since 1944: a mind is a terrible thing to waste.
I love that. So if you're listening, you may be on your treadmill and thinking, I thought I heard the website, but I didn't catch it. I will have it in the show notes so that all you have to do is click on it and make your donation. We want to make this as easy as possible because, again, people, don't understand. And I understand it being a first generation college kid. I needed that opportunity. I needed that. It was something that I needed. And I've been working so hard since I was in kindergarten, and to get to the point of, after working so hard and keep in mind, I had almost a 4.0 GPA. And then to get to the point where it came to paying it, I don't want any student like myself who has worked hard to get to the point where they can't afford to go to school just because their families may not be able to support like some of their other counterparts. There are amazing organizations just like UNCF that are here to support you. And I want everybody that's listening to support it, donate. And if you have a student that needs help, to get tuned in as well so that you don't have that issue.
Yes, thank you, Toy. And I do want to follow up. Just Richard briefly acknowledged our two HBCUs here in Pennsylvania, Cheney and Lincoln, and just to say that we very much do support those institutions as well. They are our colleagues and our partners there. And so annually we are helping to provide some financial resources for those institutions and students who may be attending those institutions. If people want to find out more information, of course, they can find us on our website, as Richard noted earlier, and as you'll put in the show notes. They can also follow us on social media. You can look us up on Instagram and Facebook at UNCF Philly, and we should come up and you can find out more about what we do, what we're doing here, and some of the initiatives we have coming up in the future.
I love that. So again, I can't stress enough. First of all, make sure you donate, even if you cannot attend the show. This show goes to so many different people in different parts of the world. We want to make sure you have the opportunity. But if you are in the Philadelphia, you know that the Kimmel Center is known to do some amazing shows. The Kimmel Center is just one of those places that I also partner with as well. And I want you to make sure you do your due justice to get to that show, because if there's ever a show to be at, that one would be a perfect one. If you've never seen Drumline, never experienced what it's like to listen to the sounds and the spirit behind historically Black colleges, I want you to get out to that show and see Drumline for yourself. And that's coming out on February the 17th, which is next Friday, so that you can be in the building, support, and have an amazing time.
Yes. Thanks so much, Toy. We really appreciated our conversation today.
Thank you.
Appreciate your support.
Absolutely. Thank you for being on the show. We are excited. And again, make sure you're at the show and make sure you support. All right, we are back again. Conversations with Toy Family. We have a treat. We have Miss Leslie here. She is representing the Kimmel Center. If you're from Philadelphia and you've never stepped your foot into the Kimmel Center, I don't know what you're doing. First of all, not only do they have amazing shows, they have some free programming. I've gone to plenty of times with my family. My children, I feel like, are Kimmel kids. They're there as often as I possibly can take them. It's like our little ritual, at least once a month, every 2 months. I take my kids to see a show because I believe in the arts. I am an arts kid. My mother was all into the arts, and so it's important. If you have not attended, get your feet, your body, yourself to one of the Kimmel programmings or show. Now, we already talked about the United Negro College Fund, but the Kimmel is sponsoring and partnering, and I want to have Leslie so she can talk about that. Hi, Leslie. Thank you for being here.
Toy, thank you so much. Partnering with the United Negro College Fund is something that we have never done before. We've never really fundraised for another nonprofit because the Philadelphia Orchestra and the Kimmel Cultural Campus is itself a nonprofit organization, arts organization. And one of the ways that we're able to bring all of the wonderful programming that you talked about that you and your children enjoy. And I'm a theater mom as well, and my kids are theater kids, and I grew up bringing them to the theater with me. And my mom did the same for me. One of the ways we're able to bring all this wonderful programming, particularly the free programming, is because of the sponsorships that we receive from individual donors and from corporations. So the arts are truly for everyone. We want to make sure everyone feels welcome on our campus. And so, our diversity here in the Philadelphia region is our strength, and we want to make sure that everybody feels welcome. So partnering with the United Negro College Fund is an opportunity for us to strengthen their mission and values and making sure that, African Americans have an opportunity to go to school. As the mom of 2 students in HBCUs currently, I really value and appreciate the work that the United Negro College Fund does and how it makes a difference to make sure kids have an opportunity to go to school. And what better way to celebrate the United Negro College Fund and the Black College experience than with 2 upcoming shows, Drumline Live. Nothing says HBCU experience like Drumline Live.
Too true. Very true. Yeah, I remember seeing it when I was in college. Like I had talked to you off screen, but like I saw it and I was like, why am I sitting in this college that I'm at? Because it wasn't historically Black college. And I was like, why am I here? I need to be over there. I want to get to that energy. So yes, this is.
I did not go to an HBCU either, Toy, but my sister did. And I just happened to be in Washington, D.C. when she was a student at Howard University. And one of the most exciting things was watching her dance as part of the dancers, Ooh La La dancers, with the HBCU marching band at Howard University, and sitting in the stands and feeling the energy of the band, the drum line, the dancers. That is what you will experience inside the Miller Theater on February 17th, because it truly is that halftime show, the battle of the bands. It's the energy of the, horns and the brass and the drums and the dancers. And it's hard to sit down and watch this show because it's just so energetic. And 10% of all ticket sales will go to the United Negro College Fund, which will help students in our area and surrounding areas go to an HBCU. And of course, we want to make sure you take care of your academics when you're in school. But, a part of the college experience is forming lasting relationships, permanent relationships, and having a good time and learning how to, function as an adult. And so the fun part of college is there. And that's what you'll experience as part of Drumline Live.
Yeah, I cannot wait. That is going to be actually, I don't even know. I'm trying to visualize it because I've been to so many shows how this is going to be pulled off. But when I tell you the excitement is real, I really mean that. This is going to be great.
Yes, yes. So, the Miller Theater will pretty much be transformed into a halftime show football field where the battle of the bands happens. Every homecoming experience, Lincoln, Cheney University, Dell State. I know we have a lot of alumni here in the area. So come on out and see Drumline Live. And in the process, you will also be helping young people go to college and have the college experience that you had.
Amazing. And I also said, like when we talked to Richard and John yesterday, that if you can't go to the show, sponsor somebody else to go, send someone else, send a cousin, a niece, send someone else to go. And make sure that you use the link that I'll have in the show notes for you to even just give a donation, because the more you give, the more you're helping our students here, like you said, in our area and beyond, to be able to afford college. Because it's not even just about getting into college, it's about being able to stay in college and the expenses that come with that. There's traveling back and forth if you go out of state. There's computers and laptops. There's a lot of expenses that come with college. And I would hate for any student who wants to, go to school and do their best and try to make something for themselves to not be able to go because of finances.
Like I said, both of my daughters attend HBCUs currently, and having two children in college, I can't tell you the number of mom, can I have? Daddy, can you transfer? A grandmother who, just can you please send me some money? And relatives, sisters and brothers who are working professionally, can you please send me money? So the need is real. It does go beyond tuition. There are books, and they're just everyday living expenses. They need toiletries, they need all kinds of things. So we appreciate the work of the United Negro College Fund, and we are just so grateful that they've decided to partner with us for these performances.
Yes, listen, college can be expensive, between laundry and just, even just going out and hanging out with your friends. You're like, I just need $20 so I can make it through the night. Like, it's crazy. I don't know how many times I said to my parents, like, hey, can you send me? And even with working, I worked while I went to school, and I still needed somebody to send me some money. So
absolutely,
we make sure we support students as much as possible, so we can help take the load off parents. Because I'm just starting, my daughter's about to go to high school, and so now I'm about to step into that realm. And so my pocket is feeling it, and I know it gets steeper as it goes.
Yes, get ready.
Thank you so much. Well, Leslie, thank you so much for coming on today to let us know how the Kimmel Center is partnering with the United Negro College Fund. In addition, I am so blessed that the Kimmel Center really just helps celebrate Black history literally all year round. Your shows at the Kimmel Center have been amazing. I've taken my kids to a plethora of shows, age-related. My oldest, I've taken her to some older content, just because we're talking about some older content in our house for her. And it's really great to see how shows really mimic life, or, help a person that may be struggling in another area or celebrate something. It's just a beautiful thing.
Yeah, the arts inspire. One of the first things that was cut in the classroom for children was the arts. When the school funding formula was not there anymore, one of the first things that went away was music and art education. So what the Kimmel Cultural Campus tries to do is stand in that gap, and we provide free arts education programming for students in the Philadelphia 11 county region. And so, the arts inspire. And if kids are able to see, like you said, themselves on stage, or someone who looks like them on stage, it brings hope. It helps you, realize your potential as an individual. And the arts also help you in your core subjects like reading, math, and social studies. And so, just being able to provide children the opportunity to come and see a performance on stage is something that is really, really special.
Absolutely. Yeah, my kids, especially my oldest daughter, she's been able to get extra credit for her class just because she's attended so many shows. She'll do like a full report, turn it in, she's getting extra credit. So it's like, it's a two-way street. It helps them and it helps parents too, I believe. Again, and I could be biased as a theater kid myself, but it's important. And I hope that parents, if you're listening to this and you're wondering if you should attend a show, you really should. There's shows at every price range. Kimmel does a great job. And this is why, one, if you're following the blog, you'll know I always post about when they have ticket deals. They may have, like right now, they're doing one for $17.76 that are $17.76 if you wear your green. Like, there's so many different things and so many ways to afford going to a show as well.
Toy, we can't thank you enough for, being one of our greatest cheerleaders, if you will. You always support us, and we just really, really appreciate the work that you do and spreading the word about what's happening on our campus. You did mention Black History Month, and I do want to just mention the fact that Alvin Ailey will be returning to the Kimmel Cultural Campus at the end of this month. It is a no miss. Every year that Ailey comes, you just want to be there because you're going to experience something new and great. And so I'm really looking forward to the Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater when they come the end of this month. But, we don't limit Black history and the celebration of Black artists and Black music and the contribution of Black artistry and creativity to just 1 month. February is too short for all of the greatness that happens in the Black community. And so we celebrate Black history all season long. Almost every month that you come to the Kimmel Cultural Campus, you'll be able to experience something great from a Black composer like Florence Price, William Dawson, William Still. You'll also be able to experience the work of the Marvel Black Panther in March.
Yes.
And Chadwick Boseman, who also attended an HBCU. He attended Howard University, and I don't know for sure, but an organization like the United Negro College Fund may have made it possible for him to attend Howard University. And so, there's something for everyone on our campus, and you'll see visions of yourself, even in 1776, where the cast is not what you think. Our founding fathers aren't always fathers. Sometimes they're women, transgender. And so you'll see like a sampling. We challenge the norms, if you will, in art. And art allows us, opportunity to be creative and try new things and do different things and, challenge what history, has taught us and present history and stories in different ways, new and different ways, and be creative in the process.
I cannot wait. And I definitely am going to get tickets to see the Alvin and Ally show. I cannot wait. I'm bringing both the girls. I want them to see this. Yes. When I saw it, I was like, oh, I got to get the tickets. Like, I'm going to get my tickets. I can't wait.
Yes. We can't wait to see you there either.
So thank you so much. And remember, get to one of the shows, but make sure you're at Drumline. And make sure that if you can't attend a show, send someone that you love to the show, and or donate in the link in the of the show notes, because we will make sure that we make everything clickable, so you have no excuse to not donate, and help a student in our area go to college and keep their dream going, because that's what it's about.
Thank you so much, Toy. Thank you for this opportunity to share. And I want to just thank all of your listeners as well for their support. And we hope you all have just a wonderful time in the arts.
Absolutely. This has been a really tough week. And I'm hoping that if you've experienced some sort of tough week for yourself, that you have found or will find some type of solace for yourself this weekend. Please go do something for yourself, beautifully for yourself this weekend. If it's outside of going to see the show at Drumline next week or getting your tickets for that, make sure that you do things like, getting flowers for yourself, doing some sort of self-care. If you want to take a trip somewhere local-ish, go ahead and do that, because let me tell you, life is long and strong and hard and all the things. And sometimes you just need to reset. And part of resetting is figuring out what you like, what you enjoy. With this long weekend and doing the therapy and getting the things together to make sure that, again, that, I am happy and whole. Sometimes, I find, at least for myself, that the struggle to be who you need to be at all times, and taking a step back and taking a break. Can we normalize the break? Breaks are super important. And I know sometimes we don't feel like we need to, or it's not, or whatever it is that we're telling ourselves, but I promise you, you need to take a break. Breaks are truly amazing. They help you to realize like where you're missing things at. Like if you find yourself constantly forgetting things, could be because you just need a simple break, a simple nap, a simple timeout, and get that. Don't feel guilty for having to replenish yourself. Don't feel guilty for having to fill your cup back up. We talked a lot about college with the Black United Negro College Fund. And I want you to understand how important going to college is. I know for myself, college has been completely transformative. It has helped me to make the most longest of lasting relationships. And the friends that I have from college, I still have to this day. They are completely vital. And I do mean vital to who I am and the joy that I have in this life. As we grow up and we're going through different phases of our life at separate times, I can lean on one of them and say, hey, are you okay? Or they can call me and make sure that I'm okay. Like at the end of the day, it's a beautiful thing to have some strong relationships and friendships as your foundation. And I'm grateful that I have that, and college provided that. And without that, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure I would be fine. Like we all know we will adapt, but college was super bomb for me. some people are like, college is so expensive. I mean, yes, there is a deep pockets when you go to college, but it was worth it. I feel to this day, even with going into media now, I feel like this still was a part of my life that it made me who I am. So even if I know there's kids and adults that are going into media without college degrees, and hey, do that too. But there's nothing like having something else that you can lean on, that you've studied hard for, that you've worked hard for, and all the things. So, don't count college out, and find other ways. There's so many different ways to finance it. I know there are a lot of kids who are getting college credit in high school, so shaving off almost a full year of their time, and that's saving money. Going to community college and transferring your credits in so that you can come in and already have your credits established. Like, there's a lot of ways in which to make college affordable. But again, I would hate for any college, potentially college students who not be able to afford school and give up on that dream, just because of the finances and the backing that it takes. And so United Negro College Funds is just one of those ways to help do that. In college, I learned more about myself as an individual beyond the school books. So we're talking really realizing like the things I needed to work on. Some things you ignore until you get a little older, but you realize very soon on, once you are left on that college dorm and your parents pull off, and now you are the sole, person that takes care of all the decisions. You make decisions, whether or not you're going to go to class every single day, whether or not you're going to show up and be your best self, how much you put into your studying, and what the grades that you get. These all flow on you. You learn how to socialize. You learn how to manage your socialization, whether that's parties or whatever the case may be. It's all a learning experience, and you get that in college. I feel like the relationships that you make in college become so solidified, even almost in the first semester. In the first semester of college, you almost figure out who you need to be around, and you make mistakes. Like, you're going to make plenty of mistakes, and you got to know that going in. But the way to help yourself is to get help early when you realize stuff is going left. Don't wait. Get that stuff together early on, and you will be fine. Like, it's going to be a lot of hardships when you're trying to transition from college out, because I figured my first semester out of college, after I graduated, was the struggle, because I wanted to go back. It was just that life-changing. You're having brunch with your friends on Saturday and Sunday after a long weekend of fun. You are in classes trying to figure out how to figure it all out and get your studies done. Like, you become very close to people extremely fast. And the relationships are just totally different than even some of my adult relationships. Some of my adult friendships I'm close to, but it's not that same level of relationship. So there's a lot to learn. There's a lot that you'll learn about yourself throughout this process. And, it's just worth going to college if you can. Week is over. We are here for an amazing Friday. I am so excited. I don't know about anybody else. Listen, I don't know what's in the water, but we're already still in Black History Month. It's only the second week, right? And here in the Philadelphia area, there's a lot of foolishness going down. So I just need people to get their lives together. There's no room for racism in any form, no matter if it's in a school setting, professional setting, personal setting. It just is no room for it. So we need to find a better way to get our lives together and to, be human and treat other people in the most decency of respect. I feel like there's a lost art of respect, and I want us to pick it back up. Study it. Add it to your life. Sprinkle a little bit on your friends when you're around them. If you see them doing something that's disrespectful, call them out. Because life is short to sit around and just be mean-spirited because of the color of somebody's skin or their sexual orientation or any of those things. So I want you to have a great weekend. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Remember to do something good for yourself. Make sure that you go into the link of the show notes so that you can either get your ticket to the Kimmel Center's Drumline for next Friday, the 17th, or so that you can make sure that you can donate to help another student get and realize their dreams. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you back with Conversations with Toy.
Thank you as always for joining me, and I know that even in the deepest or joyful conversations that there's something we can learn and apply. Until next time, I hope that you are doing better. If not, we will be back to talk some more and handle it. Peace to you and yours. Stay grounded.